Hey there. So, my next guest focuses on showing professional athletes how to get into the gaming and streaming space. And he's got the background for it. He's a former professional athlete himself, and he's found a little niche that allows him to kind of be himself and do what he knows and what he's able to do and leverage the relationships he's had in the past. This is a really cool interview. I know you're all going to love it. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest with us. I have Chase Baker. Hey there, Chase. How's it going?
What's going on? Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. I really do appreciate you joining us today. Now, where do you hail from, Chase?
Man, you talking a lot of different places, but went to high school
most recently.
Northern California. I live in Dallas typically, and right now I'm in a sports bubble out in Atlanta. So
fantastic. All right. So I like to get the show started just right into it. So why don't you begin by just telling us a little bit about yourself, please, Chase?
All right. So my name is Chase Baker. I am currently the D-line coach for a new professional sports league called the FCF, Fan Control Football. We're partnering with Twitch and doing some cool stuff on that channel. I come from a traditional sports background, so played college ball at Boise State, played a couple years in the pros with the Vikings and bounced around with the CFL. Immediately got into scouting after that, and I've just been a gamer, throughout my life. So it's pretty cool to be able to find myself in the spot where right now, where it's kind of a collision of traditional sports and esports, and I love what we're doing out here with the FCF.
I love it. All right. That gives us a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, though, I start every interview with a single question. So I'm going to ask you, just like I ask everybody else.
All right.
A scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high. How weird are you, Chase?
I don't know about weird. I'm just awkward. I feel like I'm more awkward than weird.
Well, why is that? Like, what makes you awkward?
I don't know. It's just, I think I've gotten better over the years, but I was just always a very quiet, shy kid, and I've slowly come out of my shell. But and words for me, like my words don't come out of the mouth the way they come into my brain. So sometimes it just comes off weird. So
man, you played football. Like, how are you awkward? Like, I sat there playing Game Boy during lunch. Like.
The thing about football, everybody says that is like, oh man, you're in front of a ton of people, but I got a helmet on. Nobody knows who I am. I'm kind of hidden under this mask. And so it's a little different when you're face to face, but no, I think I've come a long way compared to, how awkward I used to be. So
all right, very cool.
Progress.
Now, this is the Gamerpreneur podcast. So I do need your gaming cred. When did you first start playing video games?
Oh man, I don't even remember. Shoot, it would have been Super Nintendo. So 5-6 years old. My cousins had the Nintendo, and I'd go over. We'd play Duck Hunt. I'd walk a couple miles to their house pretty much every day, just to go play the video games. So
that was the start of your physical activity right there.
Exactly.
All right. What do you play today now, if anything?
Man, the last couple months it's been hard to do anything, but I'm definitely a Warzone guy. I know that's kind of meta and mainstream and boring, but I played every Call of Duty since the first one. That's always been my stuff. I enjoy FIFA, a couple of the simulation games. And then old school, you jump on pretty much anything. I'll play anything. But yeah, Call of Duty is kind of my main game.
Love it. All right. And kind of the tough one for most gamers. If you had to choose one game as your all-time favorite, which one would it be?
Oh man, that's a terrible question.
I have no idea why. Everybody seems to have a tough time with it. You ask me, I like Chrono Trigger or Super Mario RPG Legend 7 Stars, like one of the two, like that.
You just got to know it like that. You got to know it. Yeah, I don't have one. I think whichever game brings you joy, man. Like that. Okay. That's my favorite.
Slightly different then. If you what game have you spent the most time playing?
Oof. Again, you're talking that Call of Duty comes out every year. And so I get the new one. I spend a year where I'm on it hard, and then I get the next one. So it's a year. There might have been a couple years during there that I didn't play one as much as the other, but no, it's pretty evenly spread out.
Okay, I love it. Let's get over to the preneur part because that's why we're really here.
All right.
Now, Chase, you have an incredible background and it's led you to do some incredible things. Could you kind of just go through your professional background again for us a little more in depth? Let people know who you are, what your experiences were, and how that led you to where you're at now.
Yeah, so like I said, spent 3 years with the Vikings as a professional athlete, and that led to a lot of just amazing relationships, amazing business partners, people that I've met over the years that are still in my life, friends, teammates, um, and immediately jumped into scouting. I thought I wanted to build a team, so I was with the Vikings, and they brought me on as a Nunn Wooten scouting fellowship. So I spent a training camp with them, just learning the ins and outs of professional scouting. Did the same with the 49ers. And then
My team.
hey, is that your team? Very cool. Yeah. So I loved it out there. I loved it out there. And so the year I was there, it was tough, but the next year that they had some great years in 2017. What was it? 2000. Yeah, it was somewhere in there. But there were a couple tough years when I was scouting out there. And then Pro Football Focus, same thing. Spent a year with them. I came back I moved to Dallas and got my master's at SMU in sport management. And throughout all this time, I've kind of coached on and off, college or not college, but various high schools, Rockland High School. I coached at a local Dallas high school this year. Did stuff with the Cowboys youth leagues. And then over the last year, especially during quarantine, I'd streamed a little bit and everybody kind of knew that. And I just had a bunch of teammates, former guys I played with, start coming to me and asking me for help. They wanted to jump on and start streaming and kind of build that community within Twitch or, gaming. And so I was able to help them a little bit, but I ended up meeting my partner, Ian. He's kind of an OG in it. And he could really kind of dig in depth. And what we just started doing was helping the athletes learn the software, the hardware, all the technology needed, and doing one-on-one coaching and really kind of digging into how they could build that brand and helping them. Athletes are a little tough sometimes because, they might sit on their high, their pedestal. And so we got to bring them down and let them know, it's not a Twitter or an Instagram where people are clicking. You're asking for a lot of their time. So you got to be able to connect with them. And so I think that's where we're able to kind of connect is getting those guys to actually engage with their chat.
Very cool. Now, like how different is it from doing, sports to kind of this tech side of things? Like, is it bringing something new out of you, or has this kind of always been in you?
I've always, it's just been, I've enjoyed it. But definitely, my partner's done a great job of really breaking it down and helping me kind of go in depth into it. I never went as deep as we have lately. And so just a lot of appreciation for Ian and my partners out here.
Okay. What do you think is one of the biggest challenges that athletes have in kind of getting into the streaming world?
Like I said, I was kind of digging into it. I think they struggled to connect and realize how, that they can't just sit there. Nobody's going to sit there and watch them because they're not pro gamers. They're not good enough for people to watch them for their gaming skill. They're there because they want to get to know them outside of football. So make them realize they can't sit there and just zone in on the game and not talk. So we got to make sure they're communicating, talking, having a good time on their channel and not just zoned out, not entertaining.
Okay. Now, are you using your scouting skills while you're doing this? Are you like looking for specific athletes to kind of bring them in, or is it people reaching out to you? How's that work?
Yeah, so far it's been people reaching out to me, but I can't go too much into depth, but it is working out because we are doing some stuff where we kind of are looking at, how good they are on camera and how entertaining they are. So there's some scouting to it and one of the projects that we have coming up, but so that's a good point. I guess there's scouting is coming into this and we're looking at, non-athletes as well in terms of, their entertainment factor. So it's been fun.
Okay. So other than the fact that you kind of just got asked to do this, like what's the goal? Are you trying to promote athleticism? Are you trying to promote gaming? Are you just trying to find something fun to do? Like what's the motivation behind doing this?
It's the motivation is, a lot of these athletes, once they leave their sport, it can be kind of a lonely journey. It can be a struggle, kind of transitioning away from athletics. You lose that support, you lose your teammates, your coaches, your schedule. And a lot of times you lose your revenue sources. So to me, it's providing them another outlet. It's allowing them to figure out a way to make another revenue stream and really build another community outside of, football related stuff. So it's, making sure the athletes have somewhere to go and have another community to rely on.
Okay, fantastic. Now, part of what I try to make my show about is getting my guest to give some advice to my audience. I want somebody out there to be listening to you and go, wow, this sounds freaking cool. How do I do that? So how would somebody follow in your footsteps and kind of go down the same path as you?
Oh man, that's a hard one because I feel I've been very blessed. I've been able to do the professional sports. So, in terms of gaming, I think, most of them are probably already just as far, if not further along than I am in terms of the gaming entrepreneurship side. If you want to be a pro athlete, I guess you got to go try out for some NFL teams and go hit some quarterbacks. But no, I'd say just jump in with both feet. Whatever your passion is, find a way to surround yourself with that. I've always loved gaming, but I was never around it. And so when I had time, I just started going to the tournaments. I started going to, the Call of Duty World Series stuff and just surrounding myself with it. And opportunity seems to find you if you put yourself in the right spot. So jump in with both feet. Be willing to network, talk to people, get advice. Make sure you're always the dumbest person in the room, and things will go all right. You'll figure your way.
That's some beautiful advice. All right. Now, you said you started about when the pandemic started. This was what, March of last year then?
Yeah, that's about when it went from more than just, a hobby to more of, something that I could turn into monetary, make some money off it.
Sure. And you probably started out a little bit awkward. You weren't sure if you could do this, but if you could go back in time about a year and you could talk to, Chase back then and let him know kind of what he needed to know to be who he is now, what's the one most important thing he needs to know in order to do this business?
Oh man, it's just trust yourself. Don't second guess it. I always worry about what people are going to think. And so to me, it's just, trust in yourself, go for it, and don't worry. People are always going to judge, so you don't let that affect you or hold you back.
Okay. Now, Chase, I don't want my audience to have any illusions that you're Superman. All right.
No, not at all.
But you've had this incredible career so far. You're doing something incredible now. So I'd like to ask something personal if possible. I believe that we learn the most in our life from our failures, not necessarily our successes. Because when you succeed, on the first try, you may not know what happened. But when you fail, you got to figure out what happened to be able to move past it and move forward with your life. So I'd like to ask you, what do you consider your biggest failure in life? And what did you learn from it?
I was just talking about this the other day. We were talking about, how as awesome as it was to have that NFL career, it was very short lived, and I feel like that was my biggest failure, honestly. But it was my greatest failure too. I didn't last as long as I was. I had injury issues, and undersized, whatever you want to say. I thought that sounds kind of conceited, but I thought I deserved a longer career, and so. But looking back on it, like I said, I'm just thankful for it. But that to me was my biggest failure. And I've had a lot of failures. I've started some business that have completely bombed, had no success. And so, yeah, just continue to jump in and don't let it discourage. Fell fast and fell forward.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, on the flip side,
appreciate that, Bradford.
What is something you're working to improve on in yourself today?
Oh man, a lot of things. Money management. That once I got done playing the NFL, I was, I fit into all those categories of going broke and struggling after I was done playing. So, managing my money, letting my wife manage my money actually is more of my route, more so than me doing it. But so money management, and then the networking part of things. Like I said, I was always very quiet, shy, and so networking didn't come naturally. But I see the value of it, and so just continually going out and putting myself out there. That's
okay.
Really
that is a fantastic point you were just making, because there's that stereotype that gamers are kind of awkward in public. We're weird. That's why I asked that question at the beginning. What have you done to try to get over that shyness, we'll call it?
Yeah, so I try and go to, especially before the pandemic. I was just trying to go. There's a company called 1 Million Cups where you go and you're allowed to present. If you ask and you connect with the people, you're allowed to present your ideas. You also get a network with entrepreneurs that are in a similar space of the startup. So I started going to those. I'd bring friends. That way, even if you have one conversation where it goes good and then everybody walks away, you're just kind of stuck by yourself. You always had one friend to go back to that you could talk to and kind of rely on. Otherwise, I was in the corner just by myself for the rest of the time. But yeah, man,
I'm the same way. I was part of 8 different chambers of commerce and still,
yeah, exactly.
Gotta take my wife.
Exactly. No, if you need a friend, bring a friend. Just that's your security blanket when you first start doing some of those things, and it's helpful. And they can lead to other conversations too, right? You bring a friend, they'll start talking, and they have a connection to someone else, and you're allowed to jump in and join that conversation as well. And you never know where things will go.
Absolutely. Okay, now we don't always know everything, so I'd like to ask, what resources have you been turning to kind of learn how to do this new business?
Man, it's just other, streamers, Twitch partners in the industry. Like I said, my partner, Ian, Afro, he's one of our guys. And so, in terms of anything gaming or Twitch or stream, live broadcast related, I rely on them and some of the resources they provide. There's tons of stuff out there, man. It's this world's full of education. The internet is just straight education if you know where to look. So, finding people in that industry, and just like I said, that's why I'm all about the networking is you got to just find people that are doing what you want to do, and doing it well, and just finding a way to connect with them and talk to them.
Fantastic. All right. One more fun question before we start bringing this in for landing, right?
All right.
What is something that you think people misunderstand about you the first time they meet you?
Oh man, I don't know. What do they misunderstand about me? I'm a very unassuming kind of quiet guy, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there because you already shoot. What's a good way? You're getting some good questions, and this is probably why I should look at your questions ahead of time.
I sent them in advance.
I know you did. We were in the middle of a meeting, so literally once we hang up, I'll go right back to the meeting. Well, hopefully they're still there, but no. So I'm a big dude. My wife was very intimidated by me when we first met, but I'm just a teddy bear. There's no reason to be intimidated. I'm 300 pounds, a big, chunky, muscular dude. So nobody should be afraid of me. I love talking to people.
That's beautiful. All right, Chase, this has been a fantastic interview. How do people find you? How do they reach out to you? Where are you at on social media? All that, please.
I love LinkedIn, honestly. I think that's the most transparent social media out there. And you get to kind of see what they're doing on a professional level. So I love LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you want to go. I'm on most of the socials. I love Clubhouse now. If somebody has a good Clubhouse, I'm down to join. I'll jump in. Love to talk in some of those rooms. Have you been on Clubhouse at all, Bradford?
I don't have an iPhone, so I've had Android.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon though. You'll have.
I'm looking forward to it. People keep inviting me.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. I think everybody will enjoy that.
Wonderful. All right, Chase, as we wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts you want to share? Anything I didn't ask, or do you have any advice for any other athletes out there who are looking to end that professional, athletic career and move on to something else?
Just like I said, don't think that you're too big to answer, random people's questions. Those random questions are because they want to get to know you. So answer everybody's stuff, engage with everybody. And for everybody else, go check out the FCF right now, fcf.io. We had our first games last night. We were, Twitch is our partner. It went crazy. Honestly, we had, I think, 35 concurrent viewers at one point. It was amazing. The brand of football we played was fast. It was hard hitting, and really entertaining. The fans call the plays live. I forgot that. That's probably the coolest part is on the Twitch. There's a app integration where you get to call the plays live. And I think that's a unique value proposition. We got a Discord where you can come engage. I'm in here talking trash to the fans, and because they're on offense, they don't call the defense. So I just talk trash to the fans and have a good time with it. But check out the FCF, join a team, go call some plays, and my D linemen are going to come blow up your QB. So check it out.
All right. I love it. Chase Baker, thank you so much for coming on today. I genuinely do appreciate it.
No, thank you, Bradford. Sorry I didn't, look at all your questions, but I loved the interview. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And for everybody else, I'm going to remind you all, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.
Absolutely.